Right now, as you're listening to this, your body is performing feats that would make any superhero jealous. Your heart is pumping blood through 100,000 kilometers of vessels. Your brain is firing electrical signals faster than lightning. Your bones are literally rebuilding themselves from the inside out. The human body is stranger than any science fiction movie ever made. While we search the cosmos for alien life, the most extraordinary organism in the known universe has been with us all along. It's you. Today, we're going to uncover 40 mind-blowing facts about the human body that will make you see yourself as the walking miracle you truly are. From the alien supercomputer in your skull to the steel-strong skeleton beneath your skin, from blood that could power a small city to senses that put any technology to shame. By the end of this journey, you'll realize that every single person on Earth is already a superhuman. They just don't know it yet. So buckle up, because we're about to take a deep dive into the most incredible machine ever created, the human body. Let's start with the most mind-blowing organ of all, your brain. This 3-pound mass of tissue sitting in your skull is performing calculations that make the world's most powerful computers look like pocket calculators. Your brain consumes 20% of your entire body's energy, despite being only 2% of your body weight. That's like a single apartment using as much electricity as an entire city block. Why? Because your brain is running approximately 86 billion neurons, and each one is connected to thousands of others through structures called synapses. Here's where it gets insane. Your brain processes information at speeds that would make quantum computers weep with envy. A single thought travels through your neural network at up to 268 miles per hour. That's faster than a Formula One race car. Every second, your brain performs about 1 quintillion operations. That's a 1 followed by 18 zeros. To put that in perspective, if every star in the observable universe was a computer, they still couldn't match what your brain does in a single second. But wait, there's more. Your brain's storage capacity is estimated at 2.5 petabytes. That's equivalent to 3 million hours of TV shows or every movie ever made. And unlike your computer's hard drive, your brain doesn't slow down when it's full. It just gets more creative with how it stores information. Some people have unlocked even more incredible brain abilities. Take Solomon Chereshevsky, a Russian journalist who could remember virtually everything he ever experienced. He could recall random lists of words decades after hearing them once. His brain didn't just store memories, it preserved them in perfect detail like a biological video recorder. Then there's synesthesia, where people's senses get crossed. Some individuals can literally taste music, see sounds as colors, or feel shapes when they hear certain words. Imagine hearing your favorite song and actually tasting chocolate, or seeing the number 7 as bright blue. For synesthetes, this isn't imagination, it's reality. And here's a fact that will electrify you. Your brain generates about 12 to 25 watts of electrical power. That's enough to light up a LED bulb. So yes, you literally have a light bulb moment every time you think. Your thoughts are powered by electricity, making you part machine, part biological marvel. The most shocking part? Scientists estimate we're using only about 10% of our brain's potential. Imagine what humans could accomplish if we could tap into the other 90%. We might already be walking around with dormant superpowers, waiting to be unlocked. Most people think of skeletons as brittle, dead structures you see in horror movies. In reality, your skeleton is a living, breathing construction project that's stronger than steel and more dynamic than any building ever designed. Pound for pound, human bone is stronger than solid steel. A cubic inch of bone can bear loads of up to 19,000 pounds. That's roughly equivalent to the weight of 5 pickup trucks stacked on top of each other. Yet your bones are 4 times lighter than steel, making them the ultimate engineering marvel. But here's what makes your skeleton truly extraordinary. It's constantly rebuilding itself. Every single day, your body breaks down old bone tissue and replaces it with fresh material. This process, called bone remodeling, means that every 7 to 10 years, you literally have a completely new skeleton. You're not the same person you were a decade ago, at least not structurally. When you break a bone, something incredible happens. Your body doesn't just patch the break like fixing a crack in a wall. It completely reconstructs the bone, often making it stronger than it was before. The healing bone tissue can be up to 3 times stronger than the original bone. This means every healed fracture is actually an upgrade to your structural integrity. Speaking of incredible bone facts, let's talk about the smallest bone in your body, the stapes, located in your middle ear. This tiny bone is only 2 to 3 millimeters long, roughly the size of a grain of rice. Yet this microscopic marvel is essential for your hearing, vibrating over 20,000 times per second to translate sound waves into signals your brain can understand. Now here's something that will blow your mind about bone development. When you were born, you had approximately 300 bones in your body. But as an adult, you only have 206. What happened to the missing 94 bones? They didn't disappear. They fused together as you grew. This process, called ossification, is like your body's way of consolidating its framework for maximum efficiency. Your thigh bone, the femur, is not just the longest bone in your body, it's also one of the strongest structures in nature. It can withstand forces of up to 4,000 pounds per square inch. That means your femur could theoretically support the weight of a small car without breaking. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect of your skeleton is its ability to adapt. Astronauts who spend months in space lose bone density because their bones don't need to support their body weight against gravity. Meanwhile, athletes and manual laborers develop denser, stronger bones in response to physical stress. Your skeleton is literally sculpted by your lifestyle. And here's a spine-tingling fact. Your backbone isn't actually straight. It has 4 natural curves that act like springs, absorbing shock and distributing weight. Without these curves, every step you take would send jarring impacts straight to your brain. Your spine is essentially a biological shock absorber that's more sophisticated than any car suspension system ever designed. Your heart is pumping right now as you listen to this, and what it's accomplishing is nothing short of miraculous. This fist-sized muscle beats approximately 100,000 times every single day, pumping about 2,000 gallons of blood through your body. That's enough to fill a small swimming pool daily. In your lifetime, your heart will beat roughly 3 billion times. Think about that. 3 billion beats, each one essential for keeping you alive. If your heart was a machine, it would be the most reliable device ever created, operating 24/7 for decades without a single scheduled maintenance break. But the real magic happens in your blood vessels. If you could lay out all the blood vessels in your body end to end, they would stretch for about 100,000 kilometers. That's nearly 2.5 times around the Earth's equator. Your circulatory system is like having a river network more extensive than all the roads in the entire United States running through your body. Your blood pressure is so powerful that if you cut a major artery, blood could squirt up to 30 feet away. That's the distance of 3 car lengths. Your heart generates this incredible pressure using only the power of muscle contractions. No pumps, no engines, just pure biological force. Speaking of blood, let's talk about the liquid of life flowing through your veins. Your blood is constantly regenerating itself. Red blood cells live for about 120 days before they're replaced. Your body produces about 2.4 million new red blood cells every second. That means in the time it takes you to watch this entire video, your body will have created over 5 billion new blood cells. But here's where blood gets truly fascinating. There are blood types so rare they are called golden blood. People with Rh null blood are universal donors for rare blood types, but there are fewer than 50 people in the entire world known to have this blood type. They're literally walking gold mines for medical emergencies. Your white blood cells are your body's personal army, and they're incredibly sophisticated warriors. Some white blood cells can remember invaders for decades, which is why you can only get certain diseases like chickenpox once. Other white blood cells can literally eat bacteria alive, engulfing and destroying threats before they can harm you. Here's something that will make your blood run cold, then warm again. Your body contains about 5 liters of blood, and it completes a full circuit through your entire body in just 60 seconds. That means every minute, Every cell in your body has been visited by your blood's delivery service, dropping off oxygen and nutrients while picking up waste products. Your heart has its own electrical system, generating the impulses that make it beat. This electrical activity is so distinct that your heartbeat pattern is as unique as your fingerprint. Some researchers believe that in the future, your heartbeat could be used as a biometric identifier, more secure than any password. And here's the most incredible part. Your heart starts beating when you're just 22 days old in the womb, before your mother even knows she's pregnant. It's the first organ to function and the last to stop. Your heart is literally the first and last thing working in your body, the ultimate life support system that never takes a break. You think you know your 5 senses, but what if I told you that some humans have a 6th sense? Others can see millions more colors than you, and your nose is capable of detecting over 1 trillion different scents. Welcome to the hidden world of human sensory superpowers. Let's start with vision. Most people see the world through 3 types of color receptors, allowing them to distinguish about 10 million different colors. But some women have a genetic mutation called tetrachromacy that gives them a 4th type of color receptor. These individuals can see up to 100 million different colors. Imagine seeing 90 million colors that are completely invisible to everyone around you. The world would look like an alien landscape painted with colors that don't even have names. Your nose is performing feats that would make bloodhounds jealous. Humans can detect at least 1 trillion different scent combinations, and possibly many more. You can smell fear, quite literally. When people are anxious or afraid, they release chemical signals that others can subconsciously detect. This is why you might feel uncomfortable around someone without knowing why. Your nose is picking up their emotional state. Here's something magical. Humans can smell rain before it arrives. That distinctive scent, called petrichor, is created when rain hits dry earth, releasing compounds that your nose can detect from miles away. You're essentially predicting weather with your sense of smell, a built-in meteorological system that puts weather apps to shame. Your reflexes operate faster than conscious thought. When you touch something hot, your hand pulls away in about 0.2 seconds, but it takes your brain 0.5 seconds to actually register the pain. Your spinal cord makes the decision to move your hand before your brain even knows what happened. You have a backup nervous system that can save your life without bothering to consult your consciousness. Some humans have developed superhuman hearing. People living in quiet environments can detect sounds as faint as 10 decibels, roughly equivalent to breathing. There are individuals who can hear electrical devices humming, fluorescent lights buzzing, or even the high-frequency sounds that most people lose the ability to hear after childhood. Then there's synesthesia, where senses cross over in extraordinary ways. Some synesthetes can taste music, literally experiencing flavors when they hear certain songs. Others see numbers as colors, or feel shapes when they hear words. Imagine hearing your name and feeling circles, or listening to a guitar and tasting mint. For synesthetes, reality is a multi-sensory symphony where every experience triggers multiple senses simultaneously. Your skin is your largest organ, and it's packed with sensory superpowers. You have different types of touch receptors that can detect pressure, temperature, vibration, and pain. Some are so sensitive they can feel a single hair being moved. Your fingertips have about 3,000 touch receptors per square inch, making them more sensitive than the most advanced robotic sensors. Here's a superpower you use every day without realizing it. Proprioception, your sense of body position in space. Close your eyes and touch your nose with your finger. How did you know where your nose was? How did your hand know exactly where to go? You have internal sensors throughout your body that constantly track the position of every limb, muscle, and joint. This is why you can walk in the dark or type without looking at the keyboard. Your balance system is like having a built-in gyroscope. Your inner ear contains 3 semicircular canals filled with fluid that detect rotation in any direction. This system is so precise, it can detect head movements as small as 0.1 degrees. It's more accurate than the navigation systems in commercial aircraft. Some people have developed extraordinary sensory abilities through training or necessity. Blind individuals often develop enhanced hearing that allows them to navigate using echolocation, like human sonar. They can see their environment by listening to how sounds bounce off objects. It's a real-life superpower that proves human adaptability knows no bounds. Your digestive system is running a chemical laboratory more sophisticated than anything humans have ever built, and it's operating inside you right now. This internal factory processes everything you eat, extracting nutrients, neutralizing toxins, and maintaining a delicate ecosystem that's essential for your survival. Let's start with your stomach, a muscular bag that's constantly remaking itself. Your stomach lining replaces itself every 3 to 4 days because the acid inside is so corrosive, it would dissolve the stomach itself if it didn't have this incredible regenerative ability. Think about that. Your stomach is literally eating itself and rebuilding simultaneously, like a biological phoenix that rises from its own ashes every few days. That stomach acid is no joke. It's hydrochloric acid with a pH between 1.5 and 3.5, making it almost as acidic as battery acid. This acid is powerful enough to dissolve razor blades, metal coins, and even small bones. Yet somehow, this industrial-strength acid exists in your body without dissolving you from the inside out. Your digestive tract is home to an alien world that's more science fiction than science. Your gut microbiome contains about 40 trillion bacteria, roughly equal to the number of human cells in your entire body. These bacteria collectively weigh about 3 pounds, roughly the same as your brain. You're essentially a walking ecosystem, a human wrapped around a thriving bacterial civilization. These gut bacteria aren't just hitchhikers, they're essential partners in your survival. They produce vitamins your body can't make, help digest food, regulate your immune system, and even influence your mood and behavior. Some researchers believe that your gut bacteria can affect your personality, food cravings, and even your mental health. You're not just what you eat, you're what your bacteria eat. Your small intestine is where the real magic happens. Unrolled, it would be about 20 feet long, roughly the length of a school bus. But here's the incredible part. The internal surface area is actually about 2,700 square feet, roughly the size of a tennis court. This massive surface area is created by millions of tiny projections called villi that maximize nutrient absorption. Every day, your digestive system processes about 10 liters of liquid, including saliva, stomach acid, bile, pancreatic juice, and intestinal secretions. That's more than 2.5 gallons of biological fluid, all carefully balanced and recycled through your system, like the world's most efficient water treatment plant. Now let's talk about something everyone does, but nobody likes to discuss: intestinal gas. The average person produces about 14 farts per day, totaling roughly half a liter of gas. This gas is composed of nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and methane. The smell comes from sulfur compounds produced by bacteria, and interestingly, only about 1% of your gas actually smells. So 99% of your daily gas production is odorless. Your liver is performing over 500 different functions, making it the ultimate multitasking organ. It processes nutrients, produces bile, filters toxins, stores vitamins, and manufactures proteins essential for blood clotting. Your liver processes about 1.4 liters of blood every minute, screening for harmful substances like a biological security checkpoint. Here's something incredible about digestion. Your body can actually taste food with your intestines. Your intestinal lining contains taste receptors similar to those on your tongue. These receptors help your digestive system prepare the right enzymes and acids for different types of food before they even arrive. Your gut has its own sense of taste, independent of your mouth. Your digestive system has its own nervous system, called the enteric nervous system, which contains more neurons than your spinal cord. This second brain can operate independently of your central nervous system, making decisions about digestion without consulting your conscious mind. It's why you might get gut feelings about situations. Your intestinal nervous system is literally communicating with your brain. The journey from mouth to exit takes food about 24 to 72 hours, depending on the individual and the type of food. During this journey, your body extracts everything useful and packages the waste for disposal. It's a continuous conveyor belt of chemical processing that never stops, even when you're sleeping. Your digestive system works 3 shifts 24/7 for your entire life. If superhero movies have taught us anything, it's that the ability to heal and regenerate is the ultimate superpower. But here's the incredible truth. You already have regenerative abilities that would make Wolverine jealous. Your body is constantly rebuilding, repairing, and renewing itself in ways that seem like pure science fiction. Let's start with your liver, the champion regenerator of the human body. Your liver can regenerate up to 75% of its mass and still function normally. If you donate part of your liver to someone else, both your liver and the recipient's liver piece will grow back to full size within months. It's like having a biological 3D printer that can reconstruct entire organs from scratch. This regenerative ability is so powerful that ancient Greek mythology tells the story of Prometheus, who was punished by having an eagle eat his liver every day, only to have it grow back each night. The Greeks somehow understood that the liver was special, possessing healing powers beyond other organs. Your skin is replacing itself constantly. Every 27 days you have completely new skin. That means you've already had dozens of different bodies since you were born, at least on the surface. You're literally shedding millions of skin cells every day, about 30,000 to 40,000 cells per hour. Most of the dust in your house isn't dirt from outside, it's you. You're constantly leaving microscopic pieces of yourself everywhere you go. Your fingernails and toenails are biological record keepers that never stop growing. Fingernails grow about 3.5 millimeters per month, roughly 4 times faster than toenails. Interestingly, nails on your dominant hand grow faster than those on your non-dominant hand, and nails grow faster in summer than in winter. Your body somehow knows which hand you use more and adjusts nail growth accordingly. When you cut yourself, your body launches one of the most sophisticated repair operations in nature. Within seconds, platelets rush to the injury site and begin forming a clot. Then white blood cells arrive to fight infection, while growth factors stimulate new tissue formation. Finally, new skin cells multiply and migrate to close the wound. This entire process is coordinated by chemical signals that make military logistics look simple by comparison. Some people have won the genetic lottery when it comes to healing. There are individuals with a rare genetic mutation that allows them to heal with minimal scarring. These people, sometimes called scarless healers, can recover from injuries that would leave permanent marks on others with barely visible traces. Scientists are studying these individuals to understand how we might enhance healing in everyone else. Your bones don't just heal, they upgrade themselves. When a bone breaks and heals properly, the fracture site often becomes stronger than the original bone. Your body overcompensates during the healing process, adding extra calcium and structural support to prevent future breaks in the same location. Every healed broken bone is essentially a reinforcement to your skeleton. Your muscles have their own regenerative capabilities through satellite cells, dormant stem cells that activate when muscle fibers are damaged. These cells can completely replace damaged muscle tissue and even increase muscle size and strength in response to exercise. This is why strength training works. You're literally breaking down muscle fibers so they can rebuild stronger. Even your heart has limited regenerative abilities. For years, scientists believed that heart muscle cells could never regenerate, but recent research has shown that the heart replaces about 1% of its cells each year. While this is much slower than other organs, it means that over a lifetime, you might replace a significant portion of your heart tissue. Your blood is in constant regeneration mode. Red blood cells last about 120 days, white blood cells anywhere from a few days to several decades, and platelets only survive for about 10 days. Your bone marrow is constantly producing new blood cells, manufacturing about 2.5 billion red blood cells, 2.5 billion platelets, and 1 billion white blood cells every single day. Perhaps most remarkably, your brain continues to generate new neurons throughout your life, particularly in the hippocampus, the region associated with learning and memory. This process, called neurogenesis, means your brain is literally rebuilding itself based on your experiences. Every new skill you learn, every memory you form, physically changes the structure of your brain. The human body's regenerative abilities are so impressive that researchers are studying how to enhance and harness these powers. The field of regenerative medicine is exploring ways to regrow entire organs, reverse aging, and cure diseases by amplifying the body's natural healing abilities. We might be on the verge of unlocking even more superhuman regenerative powers that already exist within our genetic code. Now we're entering the zone that makes most people squirm, but these gross and weird facts about your body are actually incredible examples of biological engineering. Your body's most disgusting functions are often its most essential survival mechanisms. Let's start with something that's probably happening in your nose right now: mucus production. Your body produces between 1 to 1.5 liters of mucus every single day. That's roughly 3 bottles of water worth of snot flowing through your respiratory system daily. This might seem disgusting, but mucus is actually a sophisticated defense system that traps bacteria, viruses, dust, and other harmful particles before they can reach your lungs. Your mucus contains antimicrobial compounds, immune cells, and antibodies that actively fight infection. It's like having a biological air filter that's constantly running, cleaning every breath you take. The sticky consistency isn't an accident. It's precisely engineered to trap particles of specific sizes while allowing clean air to pass through. Speaking of noses, let's talk about boogers. Those crusty formations in your nostrils are actually dried mucus mixed with trapped particles, bacteria, and dead cells. Each booger is essentially a collection of everything harmful that your nose prevented from entering your lungs. In a weird way, every booger represents your immune system's victory over potential threats. Your ears are producing their own defensive secretions: earwax. There are 2 types of earwax, wet and dry, and which type you have is determined by a single gene. Wet earwax is more common in people of African and European descent, while dry earwax is more common in East Asians. This waxy substance isn't just random gunk. It protects your ear canal from bacteria, fungi, and insects, while helping to clean and lubricate your ears. Earwax is naturally antimicrobial and has the perfect pH balance to create an environment hostile to harmful microorganisms. It also has a bitter taste that repels insects. Your ears are essentially producing their own pesticide and antibiotic combination to keep themselves healthy. Now let's discuss that crusty stuff you find in your eyes when you wake up, commonly called sleep dust or eye boogers. This substance is actually a mixture of mucus, oil, dead skin cells, and tears that accumulates while you sleep. During the day, blinking washes this material away, but when you sleep, it collects and dries in the corners of your eyes. It's your eyes' way of cleaning themselves while you're unconscious. Your body hair serves purposes you probably never considered. Those seemingly useless hairs in your nose are actually crucial filters that warm, humidify, and clean the air you breathe. Eyebrows keep sweat and rain out of your eyes, while eyelashes protect against dust and debris. Even your armpit hair serves a purpose, helping to wick moisture away from your skin and potentially playing a role in pheromone dispersal. Goosebumps are an evolutionary leftover from when humans were much hairier. When you get cold or experience strong emotions, tiny muscles at the base of each hair follicle contract, causing your hairs to stand up. In our furry ancestors, this created better insulation and made them appear larger when threatened. You're experiencing an ancient survival mechanism that's now mostly decorative. Your wisdom teeth are another evolutionary relic. These third molars were useful when human ancestors had larger jaws and needed extra grinding power for tough, raw foods. Modern humans often don't have enough room for these teeth, which is why they frequently need to be removed. You're carrying around spare teeth designed for a diet that humans haven't eaten for thousands of years. Let's talk about something everyone does, but rarely discusses scientifically: passing gas. The average person farts 14 times per day, producing about 0.5 to 1.5 liters of gas. This gas is produced by bacteria in your colon, fermenting undigested carbohydrates. The composition is roughly 59% nitrogen, 21% hydrogen, 9% carbon dioxide, 7% methane, and 4% oxygen. Only about 1% consists of the sulfur compounds that create the smell. Interestingly, some people don't produce methane in their digestive systems at all, while others are prolific methane producers. Whether you're a methane producer is determined by which bacterial strains live in your gut. It's like having different models of biological fermentation systems. Your body also produces about 1 to 1.5 liters of saliva daily. That's enough to fill a large water bottle every single day. This saliva isn't just water. It contains enzymes that begin breaking down your food, antibodies that fight bacteria, and compounds that help maintain the pH balance in your mouth. You're constantly producing a specialized chemical cocktail designed to begin digestion and maintain oral health. Your stomach rumbles aren't just from hunger. Those sounds, called borborygmi, are caused by the movement of gas and fluid through your intestines. Your digestive system is constantly churning and moving, even when you're not eating. It's like having an internal washing machine that never stops running. So here we are, at the end of our journey through the most incredible machine ever created, the human body. We've traveled from the electrical storms in your brain to the steel-strong skeleton beneath your skin, from the rushing rivers of your circulatory system to the alien ecosystem living in your gut. Think about what we've discovered together. Your brain performs more calculations per second than every computer on Earth combined. Your bones rebuild themselves stronger after every break. Your heart beats 3 billion times in your lifetime without taking a single vacation day. Your senses can detect everything from single photons of light to chemical signatures in the air that predict rain hours before it arrives. Your body produces its own electricity, its own antibiotics, and its own painkillers. You're carrying around a chemical laboratory more sophisticated than anything science has ever built, powered by the food you ate for lunch. You're a walking ecosystem, a biological marvel that repairs itself while you sleep, fights off invaders while you work, and somehow manages to keep itself running for decades without a user manual. Every single day, your body performs miracles that would have been considered magic just a few centuries ago. You're already living in a science fiction movie. You just got used to the special effects. But perhaps the most mind-blowing fact of all is this. Everything we've discussed today is happening in your body right now. As you've been listening to these words, your heart has beaten thousands of times. Your brain has fired billions of electrical signals, and your body has created millions of new cells. You've been witnessing your own biological superpowers in real time. The human body isn't just a collection of organs and systems. It's proof that the impossible is actually everyday reality. We spend so much time looking for miracles in the world around us that we forget we're carrying the greatest miracle ever created wherever we go. Every person you meet is walking around with capabilities that would make superheroes jealous. The person sitting next to you on the bus has a computer in their head more powerful than anything Silicon Valley has ever produced. The child playing in the park has bones that are rebuilding themselves as she runs. The elderly person walking down the street has a heart that has beaten billions of times and shows no signs of stopping. So the next time someone asks you if you believe in miracles, just point to yourself. You are the miracle. Your body is the most extraordinary thing in the known universe, and it's been with you every single day of your life, quietly performing impossible feats without ever asking for recognition. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these human body facts shocked you the most? Was it the fact that your brain generates enough electricity to power a light bulb? That your bones are stronger than steel? That you can smell emotions? That your stomach acid could dissolve metal? Drop your most mind-blowing discovery in the comments below. And here's something to think about. If the human body can do all of these incredible things that we've just discovered, what other superpowers might we possess that science hasn't uncovered yet? What capabilities are lying dormant in your DNA, waiting to be activated? What would humans be capable of if we could unlock the full potential of these biological systems? The journey of discovery never ends. Scientists are still uncovering new abilities and functions of the human body every year. We are living in an age where we are finally beginning to understand the true scope of human potential. And the more we learn, the more incredible we realize we are. Before you go, I want you to take a moment to appreciate your own body. Right now, your heart is beating. Your lungs are breathing. Your brain is processing these words. And billions of cells are working together to keep you alive and conscious. You're witnessing the greatest show in the universe, and you have front row seats to your own biological miracle. If this video opened your eyes to the incredible machine you're living in, make sure to subscribe because next time, we're diving into another place just as mysterious and mind-blowing as the human body, the secrets of space. We'll explore black holes that bend time itself, stars that could fit 1 billion Earths inside them, and phenomena that make science fiction look like documentary footage. Until then, remember, you're not just human, you're superhuman. You just needed someone to point it out.